Oh, hey guys. Sorry I haven't been uploading as frequently as I've been wanting to. I've just been too engrossed in my feminist literature. Who am I kidding? I have been doom scrolling Instagram and TikTok. So if you're as chronically online as me, you may have heard the trending term performative male floating around. Depicted as the male who's not like other guys, the feminist literature reader, the matcha drinker, tote bag wearing thrifter, he's got this kind of mysteriousness and deepness to him. Now, it is a name usually thrown around ironically, and pretty frequently as of late. So it had me wondering if this trend had any more serious impacts other than an increase in Labubu sales and Clairo listeners. But first, why is it getting so popular? We've always had performative males over the years. There have been certain tropes that guys want to be because they know it's what gets attention. Like in the early 2000s where it was the grunge, flannel shirt wearing, guitar playing, floppy hair. Then I guess way back in the day, you know that scene from Teen Beach Movie where they're singing, "I know what girls like boys like me," and they're looking like that. Yeah, I don't know, it's the 60s. So there's always been this type of guy that seems cool to be, under the impression that it's what the ladies want. But with these other ones, it seems like no one bats an eye. So why is this getting called out? You know what my guess is? I think this archetype came up as some sort of retaliation to the former Andrew Tate era. The toxic masculinity where, you have to be rich, you have to have an 8-pack, you have to be super macho or else no ladies want you. Therefore, you're lesser than. And to be honest, I think from general consensus, no lady wants...
Say something about females. They have this facade of they have to try very hard to come across as nice.
Perhaps the better way of saying it is there are women who are prepared to share me because of my status quo.
Next time a woman gives you that strong, independent woman bullshit, you need to remind her that less than 200 years ago, without a man in her life, she would literally die.
So, the climate adapted. Women want men a little more sensitive, a little more in touch with their feminine side, which seems to have manifested in wearing clothing with more expressiveness, appreciating aesthetics, and delving into the arts. So the hyper-masculine traits lessened, but I think there was something that was still held onto. Be a certain way, or no ladies want you. Therefore, you are lesser than. It makes me wonder if all of this ties into the male loneliness epidemic, another trending term, and whether you believe it's true or not, it's just something to think about. I won't go all into it today, but maybe it's so bad that some men will fake personas just to be more seen. Now, disclaimer, you can fully enjoy listening to Biba Doobie, reading in cafes, and as much as I hate them, you can love Labubus with all your heart, regardless of your gender. The problem is if you're using it as bait to manipulate women into thinking you're soft-hearted. The problem is if you're posing, hence the word performative. It's like how you gotta move in silence, but if you're like, "Hey everyone, I'm moving in silence," then it's like, Shamo now. It's easy to tell the difference between someone that is being genuine about their interests versus someone that is doing it just for appearance. But that's where the lines get blurred though. These skits online and whatnot seem to frame the niche as a joke or ironic. Like, there's no way there's actually a guy being genuine about it, or he's performative. And these jokes in turn make no one want to be like it, which is weird because it's like making fun of someone that's too good to be true. So now everyone seeming good is untrue. Being a good person is performative? This led me to think about the term performative activism. It reminded me of these performative males because it's hard to tell who's being genuine with their goodness. An example of this was during 2020 when the Black Lives Matter movement was at its most popular. Everyone was posting a black square for the hashtag blackout awareness thing to bring awareness to the movement. Yet, some people seem to be just posting it because everyone else was doing it, and they didn't want to seem like they didn't care. Another example is the USC Ice Bucket Challenge, initially meant to raise awareness around mental health, but when it started to become a thing of "have you been nominated yet?", it started to create a FOMO type of thing, where people miss the point of doing it for awareness and rather just to hop on the bandwagon. I am aware that there are people that genuinely meant the message behind these trends, people that genuinely want to bring awareness, and that's good. But there's also the trend hoppers and those who are too scrutinizing, lumping everyone that partakes in these movements as just someone trying to look better for others, like the awareness doesn't matter. But I can totally see why it's easy to assume that someone just posting these is a form of lazy activism. The trend still did get around, some may have gotten the message and some didn't, but it still had some of the impact. Perhaps in some cases, calling it performative was just a way to delegitimize digital activism. Like, just say you don't know discursive power theory. So, in the same way, perhaps slandering male interests as performative is a way to delegitimize actual men who are trying to be better genuinely, or who genuinely like these things. But I guess to think back to the reason why the criticism initially did start was because people saw it as manipulative. Something that the niche really pertains is consumerism. If you notice the stuff that performative males are associated with, it all seems to be quite trendy stuff, which can lead people to think that it's being done with shallow authenticity. And you know what? This matcha isn't even real. It's spirulina with milk, and I don't even like it. Is making fun of it counterproductive? As I mentioned earlier, a lot of trends get followed, but this one gets mocked a lot. I can't help but to think if there's something behind it that's encouraging the toxic masculinity that I mentioned earlier. Like, yeah, there are people pretending for female attention, but stigmatizing any man for partaking in feminist discourse or something just means discouraging people from reading outside of their perspectives, which, believe it or not, is actually bad for society. Like, do you believe emotional intelligence of men can only be done with intention of deceit?
Guys, it's not performative if you're actually doing it. You know, like if you're only reading your feminist literature in public in front of women, yeah, that's performative. But if you, also read it at home and you really internalize the message and try to become a better feminist every day, and then you also go to a coffee shop sometimes and that happens to be the book you're working on, that's not performative. This just reading. I posted a video 20 minutes ago where I said, hey guys, I literally am donating 2 months of my salary and 10% of my money forever to charity. And someone said performative male final boss. Have you lost the plot? Yeah, I guess it's performative that I'm informing you, but I also genuinely just donated all my money. Okay, it's performative. I also just got kids water in Gaza. Are we crazy? Am I the crazy one?
I couldn't have said it better, that it's not performative if you're actually doing it with thought behind it and not just surface level stuff. If you want men to be emotionally complex, then why are we shaming it? I don't know, it just seems counterproductive just because you think it can't be true. Is it equivalent to pick-me girls? The term pick-me girl might be the woman version of performative males. Though similar, I don't think they're the same. Because the difference is that pick-me girls are depicted as ones that put other women down to raise themselves up. The I'm not like other girls pushes other women down, like I'm too good for makeup or hanging out with girls is too much drama. But I do get the frustration where having genuine interests in predominantly masculine things gets lumped in with the pick-me girls and not like other girls label. For example, just being into sports, cars, video games. I think throwing around the terms pick-me or performative is just a form of gender policing. Let the freaking people be free. Why do we need to stress about stereotypes or gender roles? I know not everyone's type is the sweater-wearing Lana Del Rey listener, reads books in cafes man, or the Converse instead of heels, doesn't like pink girl. Maybe the real ideal person is someone who's just authentic. Well, as authentic as someone can be. Aren't we all performative? In Irving Goffman's book, The Presentation of Self in Everyday Life, he discusses that there is no authentic core self and no natural maleness or femaleness. The self is an outcome of managing self-impressions to those in immediate presence. So, aren't we all performative? If you come to think of it, everyone performs in some way. All social behavior is performative. I'm sure we all act a bit differently to our friends compared to authority figures like teachers, cops, managers. No one's gonna tell you, just be yourself and speak your mind, when you know it's not gonna have a good impression on others. So, when the motivation or reward is something deemed noble enough, is that what makes it fine? but performing to get guys' or girls' attention isn't, so maybe that's why there's hate around this type of performativeness? Maybe it's something to do with the myth of effortless perfection. Being seen trying is shameful and embarrassing. You already have to be. But then again, who freaking cares? Whether you're being called performative for what you like, only you know if you're being genuine with it or not. The word performative may fall under the same line as cringe, killing individuality. And sure, people might see this trend of making fun of performative males as a way to call out the manipulation tactic. But where do we draw the line where making fun of these things discourages people from being who they truly are? And me personally, I would rather someone be doing good things performatively, like activism or being kind, rather than someone being apathetic and doing nothing with complete sincerity. But that's all for this ponder. Once again, thanks for listening to me yap. Let me know if you had any thoughts in the comments below, and see you all next time. Oh, hey guys, sorry. This is so cringe. I know what girls like boys like me. Oh, that's so cringe. Okay, let's try again.